NBA athleticism is what makes the NBA the best league in the world. We all love seeing highlight dunks on ESPN, but as an NBA scout, I can tell you that athleticism is about way more than just jumping high. Today, I'm breaking down why athleticism is critical for success in the NBA and why ground athleticism might be more important than vertical athleticism. I'm Anthony Goods, the Stanford gentleman turned NBA scout, and if you got a second, please hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate the support, and I'll keep more videos coming your way. But I'm done wasting time, let's get into it. First, I'm going to talk about ground athleticism. In basketball, you got 10 players on the floor, all trying to get from one point to another while weaving through 9 other bodies. That's where speed and quickness, which is the core of ground athleticism, come into play. Unless you have elite positional size, strength, or a handle that can break down any defense, you need quickness to create advantages. Why? Because in basketball, if you can force the defense into rotation consistently, you're going to win a lot of games. Take Cleveland, for example. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are two of the best in the leagues at getting into the paint. Whether it's with or without a screen, they can create paint touches at will. This forces help defenders to collapse, opening up shots for teammates. That's a big reason Cleveland is not only one of the top teams in the league, but also ranks in the top 10 in assists. Trae Young is another great example. His quickness constantly puts defenses in help situations, and his ability to find teammates off that pressure makes him one of the league's most dangerous playmakers. But here's the catch. The NBA is filled with fast, athletic players who can recover incredibly well. So just being quick isn't enough. You need to combine that quickness with decision-making and skill to really stand out. Ground athleticism isn't just about offense either. On defense, lateral quickness is crucial. In the NBA, stopping someone one-on-one is a near impossible task because of the rules, officiating, and sheer talent on offense. But players like Dyson Daniels and Drew Holiday show how valuable lateral quickness can be. They may not shut someone down entirely, but they slow them down, disrupt their rhythm, and make them uncomfortable. And let's not forget to talk about recovery. Everyone gets beat at some point. That's just basketball. But having the quickness and effort to recover and contest the shot is what separates great defenders from average ones. And a lot of times these players are fighting over on-ball screens, which is extremely tough to do. So if you got a player that can slide over an on-ball screen and stay attached to the ball handler, you got a very, very good defender. But again, it's hard to be a good defender without lateral quickness and a motor. Now let's talk about vertical athleticism. It's what most people think of when they hear athleticism. While dunks are the obvious example, vertical athleticism is just important for layups and finishing at the rim. Look at Kyrie Irving. His ability to hang in the air, adjust his body, and finish tough shots isn't just skill, it's athleticism. Without his vertical ability, he wouldn't be the same finisher. Zion Williamson is another prime example. Sure, he's a highlight dunker, but his vertical athleticism also allows him to finish contested layups. His combination of strength and ability to elevate through contact makes him a nightmare at the rim. Of course, most of the time you see him on ESPN, he's dunking the ball, but it's the finishing around the rim that makes him dangerous. Before we go deeper into this topic, let me tell you that testing my skills on PrizePicks this football season is the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. If you had a skill, you could turn $10 to $1,000 in just a few taps. This week on PrizePicks, I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to pick Lamar Jackson to rush over 43 yards and Jared Goff rushing over 2.5. If both of these hit, I can win 3 times my investment. Simple, easy, and it makes NFL Sunday a little more fun. And if you're going to play daily fantasy sports anyway, why not use my promo code? Go to prizepicks.com/agoods24 and use promo code agoods24 for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/agoods24. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Then there's vertical spacing. This is where bigs who are lob threats thrive. A player who can elevate above the rim forces the defense to react differently. In pick and roll situations, defenses have to collapse to prevent the lob, which opens up everything else on the floor. Vertical athletes create a unique kind of pressure that's invaluable to a team. He frees up the ball handler as well as the other shooters that are around him. On defense, vertical athleticism is just as valuable. Whether it's blocking shots, contesting at the rim, or grabbing rebounds, being able to get above the rim gives a player a huge advantage. And this isn't just limited to bigs. Guards and wings with vertical athleticism like Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant can provide rim protection in transition or on help defense. It's a game changer when a player can recover and make a defensive play above the rim. And speaking of those two, when you see players like Ja Morant or Anthony Edwards, you're looking at the perfect blend of ground and vertical athleticism combined with skill. Their quickness, leaping ability, and handles allow them to maximize their gifts. I always say a player is only as fast as their handle allows them to be. When you combine elite athleticism with a refined skill set, you get players who can dominate in multiple facets of the game. Part of the reason Ja and Anthony Edwards are able to make these plays above the rim is because their skill set is so advanced that they're able to create these opportunities consistently.
At 6'4" and 225 pounds, Edwards weighs 25 pounds more than the average NBA guard. Even with that added size and strength, Edwards is incredibly quick to the basket. In fact, starting from nearly a standstill at the three-point line, he can drive to the hoop in just 1.5 seconds. That's on par with the speed of one of the league's shiftiest guards, Kyrie Irving.
Edwards to the rack!
Edwards is also dynamic on his pull-up jump shot, including his signature turnaround jumper. To execute this shot, he spins at 580 degrees per second. That's rotational speed on par with the spin move of all-pro NFL running back Christian McCaffrey.
Some wizardry from Anthony Edwards.
This enables Edwards to gain at least 5 additional feet of separation in only half a second. That's similar to the separation Michael Jordan would get on his turnaround jumper.
Anthony Edwards, oh my!
The key to Ant's athleticism lies in his body's ability to produce rapid spikes in energy. See, in world-class athletes like Edwards, fast-twitch muscle fibers convert stored chemical energy into power used for explosive movement. This allows Edwards to achieve 5,000 watts of peak power at takeoff, which is enough to run your iPhone for 4 hours. Elite power means Edwards is able to produce an absurd half-ton of launch force and leap an estimated 11 feet, 10 inches high. This explains why he can take off from more than 10 feet away from the basket and throw down monster dunks like this. On the other end of the floor, these gravity-defying hops give Edwards a block radius of 3,470 cubic feet. That's actually larger than the block radius of Kawhi Leonard, who is 3 inches taller and has a wingspan that's half a foot longer.
As a scout, I'm always trying to evaluate how a player's athleticism translates to the NBA. As I spoke on before, sometimes a good athlete in college or overseas doesn't necessarily translate to the NBA. And this could be vertical or ground athleticism. The NBA is a league with the most elite basketball athletes on this planet. So for you to have some success, your athleticism has to translate in one way or another. And teams are always looking for players that are going to make an impact. You can't control whether shots go in and out, but there are also a lot of other parts of the game that you can control, and athleticism helps that. But that's all I got for today. I hope this sheds some light on how NBA front offices look at athleticism and the importance of it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and stay in tune for the next videos we got coming your way. I got a lot more content coming down the pipeline. As always, I appreciate the love and keep shooting, and I'll keep scouting.